Hello guys, my name is Napo. You can call me Jose if you want. And today I'm gonna show you how I made the song I put for sale on YouTube in the last video. You can check that if you want to grab it. So, but if you wanna learn, if you wanna learn how I made it, I can show you easily because it's not as heavy as you might think. It's just simple. Like the only thing you need to care about when you wanna make trap or real trap is just drums. For me, the best part of any type of bass music is drums. It doesn't matter, for me, that's my opinion. It doesn't matter if you, for example, make the best sound or the best, I don't know, design thing, whatever. If your drums are weak, your song is going to be weak. For me, that's my opinion. So, first, for drums, if you see here, I use 3 kicks. The one is the buy. You see here, this is the buy. This is going to be the transient hit. The only thing I did here just cut the low end so I can only hit the transient. So then I have another top kick here, and here I'm doing more, which is a transient shaper, which is in boosting attack to get a lot of this click sound that you hear in this case. Then saturator with a drive, and again clean and EQ. I always recommend every time you do or when you make like basses or whatever, have an EQ for to anything you want to do. That's my opinion, okay? Then I have my snare, I believe. Where are you? The snare is here. I got this from Splice, I believe. It's the, I know. You can take a picture of the name, just find there, and you will have it. For the loop, the head loop, I have this Rev Theory pack, because I recommend that pack too. It's amazing for me. So when you have that, you're going to have this basic drum pattern that everyone is making. Bam, boom, boom, bam. So the best way to spice this for me, just doing the classic woof, a woof sound, which is like, I think it's called like a whoop, I believe, the sound. So I recommend you to use that every time you have a kick, but don't be repetitive. For example, you can do this kind of like this. Okay, let me put it here and here. No, don't do that, because it's going to be so repetitive. It's going to be so fucking boring. So I mean, you can do it if you want to do it, but for me, I don't like to do that. If you want to take my advice, don't do it. Then for the leads, I have this. Let me put it now so we can do it better. So this is a sample by Rev Theory again. This is stabs, I think so. One shot, I believe. It's a rave thing. Let me listen to this. So the process to make this more powerful is nothing crazy, to be honest. It's just an EQ, just to get rid of the low end, just to make sure I don't have a lot of high. I mean, there's no difference between this and this, so you won't notice any difference, to be honest. For the OTT, I mean, I always say that I'm gonna try to avoid using OTT, but I always use it, so my bad. But for OTT, I use this type of settings. You can take a picture. I'm just boosting with the out gain, just volume and compressing a lot with the depth, you see there. So then I have saturator. So the best thing about saturator, you have a lot of things here. So I use main curve, not because I'm not gonna be like, okay, I'm using that because you can have this sound like this and that and bullshit. The only reason I'm doing this type of main curve is because I saw VIPERACTIVE using this type of saturators in the string. I know he had, I think, like a workshop with excellence, I believe, or a feedback thing. I don't remember. So he was using this main curve. So every time I open main curve, every time I open saturator for basses, I use the main curve. I don't know why, but I use it. So yeah. Then I have the Pro R2, just for reverb. I mean, you can copy in a sense, just put the same thing in the Pro R1 if you don't have it. And last but not least, the EQ to just get rid of the low end, because sometimes OTT and saturator create low sometimes because you're pushing it, the sound, you know. So yeah. And for the melody, I just made something simple in the, I don't know how to pronounce this shit, so sorry, dominant thingy. So I made this bass here. You can actually listen to this, which is like just a classic bleed, and then the turnaround. So after that, I have more Rev Theory sample. Sorry, in this case, I have this. I think this is a grass break, I believe. Yeah, it is, and I'm using this as a more kind of turnarounds. And for the response of this bass, it's this lead, I think. So here the same thing. I'm only using OTT. I'm thinking boosting. Yeah, I'm compressing not a lot. You see the depth. And the Pro one, I don't know why I'm not using the Pro 2, but yeah. Here I'm using the 1080 preset. Then if you pay attention to this sound, I did this kind of thing, but you see that you don't have a tag, so you won't actually listen this as a kind of like a perk sound. So my point of this project was like having something like a perk. So to get that, I took another sample by the same pack, which is this, which is, I think it's the same lid here that you have in the Daga. Sorry, I'm using a mouse, so it's not a MacBook mouse, so that's why it's getting more weird. But yeah, I'm using this Rave Theory. I'm not doing anything, just cleaning the load, to be honest with you. This is staying spaces. I tried my best to recreate this sound in Serum 2, I believe. I don't know if it was in Serum 1, but you can recreate it easily. Just up in Serum 2 or 1, do a frequency modulation. I mean, Serum 2 is phase distortion. Do that, and also play with the sync and webtables. It's not hard. I mean, if I can find the rack, and if you buy the pack, I mean the projects I'm gonna send to you if you ask me on Instagram. So don't be afraid to do it like Jose or Napo. Can you send me the rack for the space lasers? Kind of like shitty thing you made, and I'm gonna send to you. So don't worry about it. Then the best thing I always recommend to my students here, believe it or not, I have students because I do mentor sometimes when I feel like I want to mentor. But yeah, the background filler, it's just like use a lot of background. Yeah, that's I think the most useful tip for you if you want to make like any type of music. Could be dubstep, could be rhythm, could be dark, could be techno, whatever. Use background effects all the time. Why? Because if you make like anything amazing in the drums and synths, if you don't have like listen to without the effects, so you will notice what I'm talking about. Okay. And now listen with. For some reason it gets full, but you're not doing nothing, just adding samples, because it's just layering stuff like a background thing. So that's why you don't have to have it like this, because it's more background. It's more background thing. So yeah, and here I'm using Rave Theory because I recommend that pack a lot. So if you want to make trap, I mean, if you want to make trap, use Ramaku, Rave Theory. Sorry, why not like. I'm so sorry, but yeah. Then I'm using this BFX I got for my old project, because every time I do songs and I feel like I made like an amazing job, I always render things and save it to my files. But yeah, then I have this turnaround here. This is the Forbidden, I believe it's a heavy trap pack, I believe. Then I have my sub. I like to, yeah. You might be like worrying about like what is the serum. Yeah, I use a certain preset here. I think it's it's here, I believe so. It's the Ultra Sub, I believe. I mean, it's from NASCO, I believe so. But yeah, it's the Ultra Sub. You can just only do EQ, Santo Eta, and you will have the same result. I was playing with the pitch pen to make this kind of like gun bases. You can do the same thing, so don't worry about it. The only reason I like to having an audio is because I like to match all together in the same spot as my packs. That's the only reason. Nothing crazy. Then if you go here and the erasers, you can use an eraser. There's no advice for that. Just don't use like high end type things, because it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. It's hard. Sorry, my English is sometimes stupid. So yeah, sorry for that. For the intro, I'm using the same synth here. Just making sure I have my intro with a lot of FX reverb. You will see here. Yeah. This is a NASCO transition rack, but what I did is only just get out of the macro, like global macro you had here. So I have my control here every time I open, so that's what I call FX type. And if you see here, I'm using nothing. I'm dumb, sorry. Don't pay attention to me, I'm just fucking dumb. I know. What the fuck is the low end thing? Am I dumb? Ah, it's here, look. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, then I have this recent intro I made in 02. Again, if you buy the pack, if you buy the project file, and you want so bad to have this race and tell me Jose, I would like to know how you made it. I'm gonna send you the rag, but I'm gonna like try to recreate it just with the stock plugins because I use a lot of bunch of third party plugins. So yeah. Then because I was lazy, I wouldn't like I was lazy, so I tried to just use a sample here without a process, because without the process it's just a simple race. I mean, you can. Well, I mean, it's the same. I'm only processing it out just to get more like a guitar sound, and that's all because I'm using the EMP. The EMP is the reason why it sounds like a guitar. Without it's like with. Then for the intro, if we go to intro, these are the most important part here. The most important part here, because this is the main pad I'm using for rave theory. I'm so sorry, I drank my soda, that's why I'm just backing alone. But yeah. Then this is Omnisphere. I think it's Omnisphere 2 or 3, I'm not sure. You can just type drones. You can find like this type of amazing drones pad things or atmospheric things, whatever. Then I have this one too. This one I made it like I found drone here in Omnisphere, and what I did is just doing this type of detune thing, which is like just getting to things like this. In that case, you have like a detune type of saw. You see it here. So I did that with Omnisphere. Then I made this in oh no, I didn't make it. Sorry, I didn't make it. This shit. The only thing I don't know why I did this is with taking I believe it's called libraries in Contact. So I got a library on Contact in, it's called, I think, Arabian. I'm not sure. And I took like a guitar with wind pad and I made this sound. So there's no process, only I think I'll use OTT on the thing, but yeah. And then I have more things here. Let me see. I have this current sound here, just a classic ammo thing. Then I add more vocals here, which is the cap sound. I love to use it like all the time, so I'm sorry for that. Then I use more sounds. So this, I think I got this vocal from a pack from Alt Prophet. I believe he put a Twitter saying that he has like full sound vocals with all type of samples thing. So I got that and I was like just messing around with that and I got this sound.
Music revolution has started.
I love to use delay. I'm using a mic as always, rap vocals. I use that a lot in every fucking project you see. It's going to be that type of vocals. And then for the build up, just something easy. I think this build, I mean, as I said before, every time I do something that I'm proud of, I render that and save them to my files. So I made this build, and then I also get something like this. So there I just try to make drum like trap rolls. And then with that, just I think there's nothing else to do. For the mastering, if you want to be like, if you want to make like the best mastering ever for you, for the bass producers, you need to be so good at it, because I'm only using a Clockhouse Clipper. Yeah, I'm not using anything. I'm not the type of people who is like, I'm gonna put like, I mean sometimes I use Ocean, but most of the time you only use a clipper. I'm not like using FWQ or TT and things like that for them. I mean, you can use OTT. If it sounds good, just keep it. But yeah, after that, I'm only using everything you see here. For them mix down here, it's just volume in the EQ. To be honest with you, my best advice for you, if you wanna like mix your songs better, just mix while you make the song. Like just. So yeah, that's all for this tutorial. I hope you understand something. So yeah, have a good day and sleep well. Real quick, if you got an idea for a track or something that's stuck in your head, or you started something and don't really know how to finish it, I can help you. I can be your team. If you want Ghost, I can do it too. So yeah, let me know. You have my Instagram there, so you can tell me anything you need. Mixing, mastering, lessons, whatever. I'm gonna be there for you to help me. You know? Yeah. Alright.